the Spanish Caravan, the special edition of the Radio Air podcast channel. At the mic, please welcome the host, Javier Teruel Miron.
Sziasztok! Hi everyone, this is Javier. Welcome to the Spanish Caravan, the special series podcast of Radio Air, in which we talk about Bihor County and Valle Yoruli area to promote the tourism here. Before to start, I would like to say thank you for listening to our podcast. Today we are in the last episode of the Spanish Caravan, so if you want to listen to the other episode, please check out our YouTube channel. We have a playlist called the Spanish Caravan where you can enjoy all our episodes. Also, if you want, you can subscribe and share it with everyone. As I said before, today is our last episode, so I would like to introduce you to the other volunteers who are living this experience with me, and we are going to talk about our life here in Sacueni, our work trying to promote tourism here in different projects like this radio podcast, making videos, writing articles, and doing events with this objective. So please welcome Pepe Guerrero, Mariana, Amado, and Tristan Youniou to the Spanish Caravan. Hello guys, how are you?
Sziasztok, how are you guys?
Yeah.
Hello.
Normally the first question I ask my guests is what links you to Sacueni, but we already know we are here because we are volunteers. So in this first question, I would like to introduce yourself and talk about our tasks here. Also, we already met Pepe in the first episode, so Pepe, can you start please? Remind us where are you from and what are your tasks here?
Hello guys, sziasztok, nice to be here again. And I'm a bit sad because it's the last episode, but it was super fun. So for all the ones who don't know me, I'm Pepe Guerrero, coming from Sevilla in Spain. I'm also a volunteer here, doing videos and posting them on our amazing Instagram page, Touristic Sacueni. Check it out.
Hello, my name is Mariana. I'm from Portugal. I'm also a volunteer here, and I also do video and photography sometimes. I'm really excited to be here to see how Javi works and to have a lovely conversation with all of us.
Hello everybody, nice to meet you all. And my name is Tristan Youniou. I come from France, a little town named Brest, and and I am doing here some event for the Er Hangja Association. But with the COVID situation, I'm also doing some article that you could read on Er Hangja website.
Tell me, what do you like most about living here?
The best thing, when I speak for myself, I think the most surprising and overall the best thing of living here is how friendly the people are. Everyone is so welcoming, and even if we don't share language and don't share so much of a cultural, everyone tries to get to the middle ground, and the people overall are super welcoming.
There is also, when you come to Sacueni, at the first sight it may not seem like a particular city, but in all the region around Sacueni you can find many hidden treasure, like artisan or artists that do really wonderful work. So this is really impressive to discover that kind of thing there, and it's really warming to see those people keep going on with their tradition and all of that.
In your opinion, what are the best places to visit Sacueni and Valle Yoruli area?
At first there is in Sacueni the Studenberg Castle. I think it's a really beautiful monument and can really be something to see when you come there. And also the many church that are there are really beautiful building and must be seen.
Mm-hmm.
My favorite thing to do here, to go every Tuesday or Friday to the market.
Nice.
Buy some vegetables there, talk with the people there, get a language, and then go to get a palachin. It's my favorite thing now.
Yeah, for me too. The market became a routine, and it's really wonderful. The people are amazing, and they get to know you, and you get to know them, and it's just great.
And another good thing to see at Sacueni is the wine cellar street, which is
Yeah.
big
Super
point
nice.
of Sacueni. It's the wine cellar, the many wine cellar that there is.
Really good wine. I love it.
Yeah.
And I would say that also for hiking, just to go somewhere, just go to the fields, and
Only for people who loves hiking.
only for people who love to hike and walk,
Like Javi.
like
Like
Javi.
me, yeah.
But I think it's such a nice state of nature. It seems like it hasn't been touched by people in a way that most of nature that I've seen in my country has been. So it feels very how do I put this? Very true to form, I would say.
And also, this is really accessible for everyone. There is no high mountain to climb or some art forest to go. This is, you can go to beautiful places just on walk and not hard at all. In 1 hour, you can see many things.
In terms of tourism, what is the most attractive thing to visit here?
Could you repeat that?
In terms of tourism, before the last question was, what do you prefer? What did you like? But in terms of tourism, what is the best place or the most attractive thing to visit here, to see here? Here, I mean, in the Valle area.
I would say for the moment there are not many tourist attractions developed yet, but that's why I would say the most attractive thing would be the natural side, because there are, like for example, the wine cellar, the castle. These are really good attractions, but are not still in a state of touristic development. That's what we are doing here.
And also, this is a great opportunity for people who love nature, because with the fact that it's not so developed in the campaign, you can see nature as it is. You see some paysage, some animals that you won't see so easy in our country. So this is really cool for people that love to see nature.
Could you find anything similar with your country?
Yeah, for sure.
Yes?
Yeah.
What's
I would say the soup, but in terms of food, that's about it. The goulash, the bean soup. I would also say how friendly people are. I know I always go back to the people, but I think that has been like the best thing about Sacueni for me is get to know all these different people. They really try, and I feel very welcome here, as I would do in my town. What else?
We like wine. We like to eat well and have fun. So it's similar.
okay?
Yes, there is much thing like that, like Mariana said, the welcoming, and also even the association. How it is in itself, it feels like home, and that's a really good point in Sacueni. And wine and cheese too. There's a lot of that.
Javi loves the cheese.
Yeah. Not every cheese, but and also some different.
There is a lot of difference too,
Yeah.
but this is part of the journey.
Could you believe they don't eat jamon here?
Yeah.
Also, the sour cream on everything kills me, and the butter on everything.
And the
Also,
ketchup,
no,
that rolly
olive
pot
oil,
on everything.
No olive oil. And the ketchup on pizza. So it's always about people and food for me.
Yeah.
Yes.
But
Actually, Pepe and me, we realized that we noticed that here there are no green paprika. It's super weird because
Green paprika?
green
Like
paprika.
the peppers?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. And
It's only yellow or red,
yeah.
but
And
green.
the courgettes me and Tristan were talking about is also not green.
Yes.
It's super pale.
But there is also,
small.
for Mariana and me, I think, maybe for you too, but the fish. There is no fish too.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
And this is a really big difference.
Yeah,
Yeah.
no fish. I've been crying.
And
The
not
other day I dreamt about codfish.
So the food is the same, but there are no fish. Not is the
and
point.
there is not also salty butter, but that's only concerned me. But this is an important thing to say because you talk about oil, I talk about butter.
Still, it's different, but we can find here things that we can't at home.
Yeah.
Of
So
course.
it's- yeah.
And that's the whole point, I think.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
I wouldn't want to come to a place and be like, oh my God, this is just like my home.
Yes.
What would be fun in that?
Yeah.
Nothing.
And that's for the food part. There is also, I think, some differences in building, in architecture. We saw a lot of different things. Every church are really much colored than in East Europe, in West Europe,
Yeah.
sorry.
Yeah.
And this make the decor pretty and colorful.
And
There is more
also,
choice.
I don't want to be controversial, but
Okay.
Okay, no, not controversial.
I listening to you.
You're listening.
We're listening.
But of course, I can see like there's some social differences.
Yeah.
It's a bit more closed off. I think the cultural, it's not so open as
Minded.
I've grown up. Like I grown up I would say it's a very like open culture in terms of LGBT and women's rights.
Yeah.
And you can totally see here that I think there are issues that have been resolved in our countries that haven't been resolved here in terms of structure, like in terms of development of industries
Yeah.
and workers' rights and stuff like that. And of course, that becomes a bit of second plan, I think, because there are issues that are very permanent and need to be tackled. And also, sadly, you can see here, like, there's so much poverty. Sometimes you see it and you kind of get a new sense of culture, I think.
Yeah.
Following Mariana's point, I really agree with her because this is something we see there. It's really true, and when we talk to people about that, they told us too that it's hard for many people to live correctly with themselves here and be respected for that. But there is also a big discrimination in terms of culture when we see, or not, when we see gypsies, for example. This population is not very liked by Hungarian people or Romanian people, and they are also very close on themselves. So there is not much of a trade of culture between people, and that maybe is a thing that can be a missing thing of the picture.
But I almost feel bad talking about this because it comes off as a very privilege, like I come to another country and be like, oh my god, like I'm so privileged because it's like a bit
actually
like the white woman syndrome.
Yes,
you know?
and actually in Spain or in Portugal or in France, there are many differences in terms of this point. In racism or LGBT, maybe here a bit more, but
there's still so many
the same
issues.
Problems are
in every country has their own discrimination. We all have a population that are in minority and that people don't like. There is also some kind of thing with immigration, for example. There is not that much, I think, in Romania, but it is a real issue in our countries.
Immigration is a big topic, like in Spain and Portugal.
I think the people here, at least in people we know,
are really open.
Are really open, and they want to improve in this point. So I think that's
and they're making a lot of efforts to do that.
Step by step. I think. Okay, you've mentioned before about people, but what about people from here? What do you think about
Er Hangja?
Or from people whom you met here in Sacueni?
I've had a really good time meeting people here. It was a really nice surprise because when I first arrived, I thought I would actually be alone. And having this experience with all these different people, the volunteers and also the people from the studio, it has become like the highlight of the experience. And I thought it would be very much job focused and learning about video production and stuff like that. But now the best thing I've taken from this whole thing, it's the people for sure.
Yeah, as we said before, people is super welcoming and they treated us like we were from here, so it was perfect.
What can be improved to promote tourism in the area?
I would say there are many things that are an actual opportunity to be developed as a tourist attraction. The wine, the gastronomy, the monuments should be renewed, because there are actually some really nice buildings, and in general also the infrastructure, like the transportation. It's not so easy to access, but it should be improved in that sense. And
the information too. There is the access to information for tourists are not easy to get, and that's why I think the Valeria Louis need a map of all the points.
You want the maps?
No, but it is because it changes everything. When you go to a city, you see map of things you can do, and here you arrive. There is many things to see, but you don't know where. It's hard to talk when you arrive in a city that speak mostly only Hungarian, which is Magyar, so it's a language that has nothing to do with Latin language or Slavic language. So it can be hard to find the way to go to some place, and there is not much hiking trail to see. So it can be really good to have an improvement of the information first.
I would say the transportation has P mentioned. I think it's the biggest thing in terms of a starting point. Because even the transportation between the towns near Sacueni, we find it a bit hard even to find schedules. Like, as you said, touristic information, to find the schedules and to know if we have a bus or if there is a train or something like that. So, I think the transportation and the access to information, as they both said.
At the same time, I would say that this is actually not so bad, especially for those people who like more adventure and not so already prepared, all-inclusive type of tourism. Because it's actually, if you really like to discover things by yourself, it's the perfect place.
Yeah.
But it
It's
would
true.
be good to know if you have a bus sometimes. I mean,
In terms of social media, everybody here has a touristic Sacueni account to upload
yes.
our videos and stuffs. Do you think it's important to continue to promote this area and keep social media update when we live?
Absolutely. Like,
Yeah.
it's the main way to promote places now. It's if some destination don't want to use social media to promote itself, they are lost. They are unknown.
Yes, I think it's the same point that we said before, that we have to get information in somewhere or somehow.
And yeah, now, right now in the age of social media, you need that.
I think it's like you are building a building, and we put the first stone on the edifice, and then next volunteer or thing like that will put the second one, the third one, and until it gets
Oh, that's super beautiful,
No,
Tristan. That's really nice.
until it gets, it's
Yeah. It's a
construct
process.
the.
What would you tell people to come and to visit Sacueni and its area?
Can you repeat, please?
What would you tell people
Ah.
to come and to visit Sacueni and its area?
Come next Friday, we go to the market. We have some langos, some palachinta, and then we go
Some
to
joy.
try some wine in the wine cellar
Yeah,
street.
nice plan.
You want to meet nice people, eat nice thing, come to Sacueni and the area. You want to take a bath in some beautiful thermal bath.
Yes.
Came in Sacueni. There is many things. There is thermal bath. There is restaurant.
Yes.
After 3 or 4 baths in the thermal waters, my skin now is like a baby again.
Yeah.
So super good for her.
What is it about this area that people who come here don't expect to find? So when we arrived here, I think we have some ideas to see here, but something unexpected. Do you have?
For me, those who happened to me is that I'm coming to Romania and I would never expect to find things that I saw in Hungary, but because of this part of Romania is really Hungary influenced,
Yeah.
you can find a lot of similarities in food, traditions, dances, folk, art. So
Yeah, I think that's the most surprising thing, because you are actually, you feel like you don't really are in Romania as much as you are in like a settlement of Hungarian people, and it's super interesting. I didn't expect that at all. And also the coffee here is really good. In the cafes in Sacueni, not complaining, really good coffee.
Okay. Said Portuguese woman.
Some unexpected thing. I'm here since 3 weeks, so I didn't see all of the potential of the region, but I think this is the how many artists and artisans there is in such a little place, and how welcoming they are to give you their knowledge on what they do in all the detail without any procedure or thing like that. They are true. This is like true, the true people and like that.
And finally, would you like to add anything else that you think it's important and we haven't mentioned here in this conversation?
I want to ask you something.
Yeah.
Can we reverse roles?
Yes, for sure.
Can you do like an overview of your experience with this podcast, because it's your last, and I think your listeners, not viewers, would like to know, what did you learn with this experience, Javier?
A lot of things. I learned a lot of things. Yesterday I did a mentoring session with Rolly talking about that. I learned how to use Audition because I didn't know how to use this program to editing audio. Also, one of the things that I loved in this experience, it's because sometimes I forgot that I love doing interviews, or I'm a journalist and I really like my job, but the work, or to find a work, is so difficult, and sometimes I felt without power
like
to
disappointed,
tired.
tired.
So in this experience I notice that I love my job, and maybe it has a good thing to keep trying to work in this area. So it's okay.
And what's your favorite thing about Sacueni, Javi?
My favorite thing about Sacueni is Pepe. But he's not from Sacueni, he's from Spain.
Oh, fuck.
And no, I don't know. Everything, the studio, the people, I think. It's because there are a lot of super good people here. And Farruquito, our dog.
Farruquito. We didn't mention Farruquito
Yeah,
the whole
no.
podcast. Fuck.
Yes. Yes. People I met here, and Farruquito is our dog. We love you, Farruquito.
We love you, Farro.
So thank you guys for being here with me. It was a pleasure to share this time with you, not only now, I mean here during this project. I hope you had a good time with me as well. To all of you, thank you for listening to our podcast episode and all previous episodes. I would like to say a special thank you to everyone who has made it possible for me to be here doing this podcast. Thanks to Peter, my coordinator, my mentor Orsi and Rolly, and to you, my fellow volunteers, Pepe, Mariana, Tristan and Anna. Also to all the wonderful people I've met here. Thank you, Tila, Joseph, Adri, Briggy, Mark and Thomas, Ana Maria, Lori, and everyone. It has been a pleasure to meet you, and thank you very much for everything. Don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel, Radio Air, and follow us on Instagram and Facebook. Also follow our project account in the European Solidarity Corp, Touristic Sacueni, on Facebook and Instagram. This is the end. Thank you for being with us in the last episode of the Spanish Caravan. Sziasztok!
Sziasztok!